Morning all, and welcome to News of the Day video, and I'm going to get into a little bit on the economic side to start things out. So we've talked about how, the NHL is trying to salvage something of this season, and there's people saying, they should just scrap it and start with next season, like it's that simple. It's not. And talks of this going on for perhaps 18 months of the NHL being absolutely drilled financially, and how that's going to affect things, not just when it comes to the National Hockey League's players and the salary cap, but how it's going to affect the Canadian franchises. So, as of for instance, currently the Canadian dollar is at such a state that $81.5 million US, which is the cap value that you can max out at, $110 million Canadian. Now keep in mind that your actual salaries are going to be higher on a team like Toronto. And there are plenty of teams that have a cap hit that's low, but the cap's just the average of your salaries and or the average of your contracts, and your salaries may be much higher. So the Canadian dollar right now is right around 75 cents. It's currently at 74. It was 73 a couple days ago. It's been as low as 68 during this time since March. And it does tend to fluctuate wildly, and there's all kinds of reasons for that. There's oil reasons, there's American reasons as well, where the American dollar might get driven up because people take money out of the stock market. But it all affects Canadian hockey teams, and it affects you as a fan. So when fans are allowed back in attendance, if the Canadian dollar is really low, that's going to force up your ticket prices because they pay out in American dollars. And then the question as well, with all of this uncertainty about this season, how you finish it, and next season, how you even start it, how much of that money goes into escrow is the big question mark. And Donald Fear, NHLPA head, has said that they can't find any numbers for what might be next year, what might happen next year. And until you have some kind of a number you can agree upon, there's not a whole lot to discuss financially between the NHL and the NHLPA. So we'll see how things go from here, but the Canadian dollar and its value has a huge impact because there are 7 Canadian teams, and most of the Canadian teams generate a lot of revenues. So when those revenues are impacted by what we're going through right now, and if you're not going to have fans in attendance, but you're still paying people in American dollars, it's going to hurt. Now, it is cheaper to have games in Canada, but it is not cheaper for somebody in Canada to pay in American dollars. So and yeah, the escrow thing is going to be a continuing conversation, I would think, throughout this summer and probably into the fall. Now, Seattle made some news today, over the last 24 hours. A couple of little snippets of news. One, that the arena's build is delayed. It's been delayed a couple of months, but they're like, don't worry, it'll be ready in time for the 2021-2022 season. Oh, easily. And easily because of the fact that with this season being bumped back and next season probably starting late December or January, they want to have an 82-game schedule, but let's be honest, they're going to have to push the schedule way back. We may not see the following season start until November or December anyways. So this is going to be something that has an impact on hockey for years, many years. The financial, absolutely. The scheduling, 100% as well. And so the summer 2021 completion date that they're looking at for the revamped Key Arena shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem having that ready. But what's becoming a problem, and ownership coming out and saying they may now release the date, they may release the name of the team in October. And they're talking about, we've got different uniforms going through, and we've got different logos and whatnot. So Ted Lewicki, who is the owner and in charge of all this, is basically saying for trademark reasons they're taking their time, and because there isn't a good time right now. So in March it was a bad time, we can't announce it now. Well, now we can't announce it because of everything else that's going on in Seattle. We'll just wait till things settle down. They are not going to have a name. We're going to see a team take to the ice in 2021 who will have a building, probably won't have a name because things haven't settled down yet. And that may just be the way it is from then on. Well, it's raining out. We were going to name it, but it's raining and we want to have a big, outdoor gathering. It's raining out. Well, now it's sunny out, but it's really kind of hot and we don't want people getting a sunburn. So they're never getting a name. Now, if you're a fan of Ivan Provorov and you're a Flyers fan, they tweeted out this morning that Provorov's back on the ice and fans seem to be kind of excited about it. So here it is in news of the day. And it is a reminder that, as Gary Bettman said last week, more than half of the players in the NHL were not in their hub cities. So trying to get guys from Europe back over and figuring out the logistics of this, or not hub cities, in their hometown cities for practice reasons. And the logistics of this are kind of a nightmare. So taking as long as you need to about this, we're almost a month out from training camp. Great. So we're starting to see more guys on the ice, more teams opening up their facilities and getting some sort of a practice regimen going, and guys already talking about starting to feel a little better on the ice and a little more confident in their game. And related to hockey equipment news, Bauer's come out with a new face shield, which is going to be released in August. It's the Concept 3 Splash Guard, Concept 3 mask. So it's along the same lines as the face shields you'll see like in some tournaments, and obviously not in the National Hockey League, but it's glass all the way around, and the idea being it's more breathable and has better vision than others. And of course, they're not going to be wearing them in all likelihood in the NHL. So there's been some debate about whether or not they should, but the NHL is leaning towards no. The NHL is leaning towards as long as we're testing daily, as long as we are, maintaining safety in the bubble and maintaining that bubble, we don't see the need to have full face shields. Now, all the other rumors about all the other things they may take out of the game for safety reasons, that's still out there, but apparently the face shields may not be required. So when you see this, and I retweeted about this because I think it looks kind of cool. Remember, this is for hockey players. Bauer's designing this for hockey players, meaning not just the National Hockey League, but likely for junior age kids, just kids in general. And I think they look fine. I've always thought that protecting your face is a good thing. It's the one thing left, right? They wear equipment from head to toe except their face. Players don't protect their face, and how many times have we seen a guy take a puck in the mouth? There's teeth on the ice, there's blood everywhere, and it's like, if only there was some way to protect, but it's fine. And then people will say, well, no, you can't because it might hurt your vision. And now we've got this new shield that won't hurt your vision, and apparently it's easy to breathe wearing it as well. But we're still going to get that pushback of, no, we don't want to see that. That's not something we want to see in the National Hockey League. We'd rather have guys spitting their teeth on the ice, breaking their jaw, and missing 6 months of the year. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. Now, Cassidy, coach of the Bruins, isn't making me happy today. Now, I'm wearing a Bruins jersey because I'm hopeful that this doesn't happen, to be honest. Because it's something that hurt Tampa last year, and it's something that hurts teams in any season, really. It hurts teams. The idea of down the stretch resting guys, going, all right, the last couple of weeks we're not going to play our full roster. We're not going to worry about if we win or lose the games. We don't want guys getting hurt. I am not saying that I want to see guys get hurt either, but I hate seeing guys get rested. Now, Cassidy is saying that in this decision between seed number 1 and seed number 4 in this round robin tournament, he doesn't really care. And so he's open to resting guys so they don't get hurt during the round robin because he doesn't care if they get the number 1 seed. Okay. The problem is if the Bruins say rest their top players, they don't play very well, and they're up against a team that just went through a hard-fought best 3 out of 5 series, and they've really come together as a team, you're going to be Tampa version 2 this year. Boston would get taken out in the first round. I'm going to say in 4. This is the kind of intensity that you need. You need to want to win every game. And I understand, you do need to hit the pause button sometimes during the 82-game schedule. Certainly there were years that Washington lost it in the playoffs, and I felt like part of it was just their energy level was depleted from just how hard they'd played all season. But you also can't take a lackadaisical attitude like, well, it's fine, whatever, and just sort of coast into a playoff series without having that intensity and that drive to win. They should be pushing for the top seed. He should be dressing everybody. They won't have played since March. The idea that you might have a guy who's played like 2 games since March, and they weren't very big games, against somebody else who might have come through a 5-game, hard-fought, battling series, I'll take the team that won the 5-game series. I'll do that. I will take the team that won 3 out of 5 over the one that rested a lot of its top players. So I hope Cassidy doesn't do it. I really do. I hope we do not see guys getting rested because it drives me nuts. The Flames did it last year. Oh, they're just going to rest guys. And then Colorado took them out in the first round. It was like, what happened? And I really think that's part of it. And I've talked about it for years. And I think that's part of the reason that we see upsets and you see a lot. Because those guys who are coming in on those teams that are wild cards, those teams that are lower seeds, they've had to fight and claw and scratch for months to get into that spot. And the top seed, maybe they didn't. Maybe they had an easy run of it. Maybe they could lose 3 or 4 in a row going into the playoffs and it didn't matter. And they get into this bad habit. And then all of a sudden it's playoff hockey. And on one side, you've got that battle-hardened team. And on the other, you've got a team that kind of maybe takes it for granted and goes, well, we'll be fine. And then you have a Columbus-Tampa situation. So Boston, don't do it. But it is part of the reason why when I talk about who I think is going to win the Stanley Cup, I don't really talk about Boston. Because I don't like their chances because they won the President's Trophy, and that generally goes against a team being a winner. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.